Do you know what it means to be a motherless daughter? Did you know you can have mother loss without mother death? Mother loss comes in many forms, and Motherless Daughters Ministry is here to help you navigate through your particular mother loss. While you are unique, you are definitely not alone. We have 20 years worth of pearls of wisdom to help you on your mother loss journey, and we are sharing all of these pearls with you through this very podcast, Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, sponsored lovingly by Motherless Daughters Ministry.
Hello, I'm Gladys Bell, your host. It's been an exciting year for our ministry as Motherless Daughters Ministry is celebrating 25 years of helping motherless daughters. Today's episode is the audio portion of a Motherless Daughters Ministry Facebook Live event featuring our founder, Dr. Mary Ellen Collins, on the past, present, and future of the ministry. We are celebrating 25 years and looking ahead to the next 25. If you are blessed by our ministry and would like to give back through a donation, please check out our show notes for a link. As a nonprofit working to reach motherless daughters, we appreciate your support. Every donation helps make a difference in providing content for motherless daughters. Let's listen to the discussion today with Mary Ellen and Sarah Lynn.
Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Collins, and we're celebrating 25 years. Can you believe that? It is phenomenal what this Motherless Daughters Ministry has done in these years. I just have to tell you that, first of all, I should introduce the other person that's with me. It's rude of me to continue talking and ignore Sarah. This is Sarah Lynn Wells, and she's one of the board members, and she's responsible and does a lot of things with podcasting and Facebook Live and just lots of things. And I'm grateful, Sarah, that we're doing this because 25 years, that's a celebration. That is a woohoo. It is absolutely amazing. I want to go back and kind of give everyone a little bit of a history of how we came about. Today, I think I said this, I'm the board chair and the founder of the ministry. But when I started, of course, I was the founder and the executive director, and that role has transitioned for me, which is wonderful. But I want to tell you about some of the decisions we made early on. And I just will tell you that this ministry changes lives. It is just absolutely amazing to see, and such a privilege to be part of being a servant leader in this ministry. When we started this ministry 25 years ago, we made a very conscious decision about not having a formal office. Now, 25 years ago, it was unheard of not to have a formal office. In fact, you weren't seen as, quote, professional unless you had a formal office. But we made that decision that we were going to be virtual and pour money into creating service versus rent. Now, when COVID came around, we were real happy we did that. But back 25 years ago, that wasn't the thing to do. So we made some real strategic decisions that were future oriented. So all this time we have been serving, and we've been virtual. So each of us have our own place where we have our office and our files and things like that. We also made a conscious decision. We are a 501(c) and we are faith-based. But we made a decision not to be denomination-based. So while we're Christian, and while you need to know that if you come to this ministry, we're not going to try to evangelize to you. But you need to know that we are faith-based and we have a belief system. So that means with no church affiliation, we really do not have the sponsorship and financial or anything else from any kind of a church. So I thought I would share with you and ask Sarah to share with you some of the stories that we have heard over the years. And believe me, at 25 years, you hear lots of stories. So I'm going to let Sarah share with you a story that she just received.
Yeah, we have many people who get involved with the ministry because they know someone who's in it, or they have heard about it through a church that's local to someone who's part of it. But we also have a lot of women who just find us when they need us. They are struggling. They are looking for community, looking for others who can relate to what they're going through. And that's how I found the ministry. I was up late with my son in the middle of the night, just looking around, Googling, trying to find blogs, podcasts, things that could help me relate to what I was struggling with and dealing with my mother loss. And we got an email just this week that's just another example of that. Someone who has no affiliation, doesn't know anyone in the ministry, but just kind of stumbles upon our ministry right at the moment when they need it most. So I'm just going to read a little bit of this email that we received because I think it's just such a good example of what we hear over and over again about what I'm saying. So in this email, she says, I am so thankful I just found this ministry. I have been searching for a Christian motherless daughters community and finally found one. I see your circle groups just ended. Do you know when the next one will start? I also see there's a surviving loss group starting. Should I join that one? I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss. I lost my mom very suddenly, and the grief journey has been difficult. And she talks about how she had young kids and trying to go through this difficult journey alone and just wants to connect with someone who can relate and can understand. And like I said, we just hear this story over and over again of women who just maybe don't know anyone in their circles, in their lives that is going through what they're going through. And they're just looking to have someone to say, hey, I understand what you're going through. She mentions a circle group. These groups are ones that we've started a few months ago, and I've been a part of 2 in the past 2 months. And just being able to have conversations that you don't normally have in your everyday life necessarily, and just see community building over the weeks as we talk about some tough things that we're going through. And we're not there to tell people what to do, but just to have a space where we can talk and we can grow and learn and build that community. So it's been really powerful to see that and to see people kind of light up when they realize, wow, they're not the only ones dealing with what they're struggling with.
Right. I also find it so powerful when we do courses, whether it's on Zoom or whether it is in person, either one, is to see the physical changes in the women's face. It's almost like they are unloading their burdens. And in person, I mean, there is when we do the Journey Retreat, which is always, it'll be, I think, June 26th to the 29th this year, people come in and sometimes you don't know who they are when they leave because they physically have changed so much. There was one year a woman came in and she was carrying a lot of burden of grief. And by the 3rd day, she came into breakfast. I didn't know who she was. And I had to ask someone, I said, who is that? Because I thought we had a stranger among us. So that is just so powerful to see that. And there's just so many stories. We, like Sarah said, that we get people connecting with us all the time. If you go to our website, we've got some links where you can set up some free 15-minute calls, but everything's on the website that you can participate in. So I feel pretty privileged to be part of this ministry. I do think that God has his hand in this ministry and he is going to make it work. And he's going to make things happen. But I do want to make sure you know that you can go, I think you have the link for the testimonies. There's a link that Sarah has put into the Facebook page about testimonies. So if you want to know what other people think, click on that. there's hundreds of them in there from all the different kinds of programs that we do. And it's just a blessing. It's almost overwhelming. You feel so humbled by the process of the loss.
All of the information about the ministry mentioned in this discussion can be found on our website, motherlessdaughtersministry.com. Now, we're going to take a short break to tell you about an opportunity, then we'll get right back to the discussion.
You have a powerful story to tell, and I want you to know your story will resonate with so many in our listening community. Podcasts provide us with opportunities to connect with others, fostering a sense of personal connection through the power and intimacy of one's voice. They can provide an escape, a touch point with the world outside, and a sense of community, and not just for the listeners. If you would like to be featured as a nurturing voice of experience in one of our upcoming podcasts, please let us know. Visit motherlessdaughtersministry.com today.
And one of the things that we want to do is talk about as we go forward. For the first 25 years, we have been a volunteer-led organization. So, I haven't taken a salary in 25 years. And we have worked hard at keeping our expenses very tight so that we do not have any kind of unnecessary overhead. So as my one child would say, you're frugal, and that means you squeak. You're a little tight. But in the next 25 years, and that's what I want to kind of focus on, is what's going to happen in the next 25 years and what will we need to get there. So at the present, our sources of income, programming, and we try to keep those fees very, very low. We always will reach out and help a woman who's underserved. We'll always do that. So we have programming fees. We have donations, and they could be individual donations. Sometimes they are corporate donations. We have resources that come in through foundations, and we have a few of those foundations that we're linked with. Grants, well, that's just another story right now with all the federal funding and grants. It's crazy. It's crazy because I know so many nonprofits who have lost almost all their grant sources of federal funding. And so they have come down and they are tapping into foundations, which was our territory. And so now the competition is huge, absolutely huge for any kind of grant. So if you get a grant, you're pretty lucky. And we do fundraising too. We do different events. We just did a fantastic event on a Dine to Donate. And it was so well attended, and it was wonderful. And again, everywhere we go, we know there's somebody that we're supposed to be there with and we're supposed to serve. And that happened at the fundraising event. It was absolutely amazing. Had somebody reach out to one of the facilitators who were there, and they created a connection, and it's just always amazing. So for the next 25 years, in order for us to continue to move forward and develop new programs and services, I need your help. We need your help. We need your help. I just want to generate some ideas with you of how you could help. One is to set up a Facebook fundraising page. So for a particular time you would want to do that, that's absolutely a way you could help. And to donate that, choose the Motherless Daughters Ministry as a charity that you're supporting. Sometimes there are unknown donations that are there. You just have to ask for them. And I had one woman ask at her church, in her women's group, and they made a donation to the ministry. So sometimes that church that you may go to, that workplace, a lot of workplaces do matching donations. So if you make a donation, they will match your donation. And that's fantastic too. And of course, your donation, $10 helps. If you can make that recurring so it's monthly, that's wonderful. But anything that you can do to help us continue to serve you in the future is so helpful. We really appreciate that. Sarah, do you have any closing words?
I just think it's so important to even think about creative ways. Like you were saying, the dine and donate you did. We had one at a local exercise place that somebody is with the ministry is part of, and they were able to have a night where people could learn about the ministry. They could donate, but also a portion of the proceeds went to the ministry. So many creative ways that you can be part.
There's so many opportunities like that. You just have to ask. Is there any way you would donate or you would do that? And so that's a matter of asking. And I want to make sure you know that there is a link in the Facebook page of if you choose to donate. We use a donation form called Zeffy, Zeffy, and they are work for nonprofits. And the best thing about that is that Zeffy has an arrangement with different payment platforms, and we get 100% of the donation. Other than most payment platforms take out fees, so you never get 100%. But Zeffy is really generous that way. So that link is in the Facebook page too. We would welcome if there's any questions or comments.
If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to. We will monitor the comments. You can always reach out to the ministry if you have an idea or you have questions.
Okay, that's great. And I think that's important to know that if you've got an idea, we'll talk with you about, we'll figure something out. And the biggest thing is we are here. We are here and we serve motherless daughters. So I thank you for your time, and I think I will end the conversation.
Thank you for watching.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us on today's podcast. If you are in need of more nurturing words and voices of experience, we encourage you to listen to our other episodes, hit subscribe, and come check out our Motherless Daughter resources on our website at motherlessdaughtersministry.com. You can also find us on our YouTube channel and in our Facebook community, Motherless Daughters Ministry. We hope you'll come visit us, and we look forward to you joining us again next time. Until then, stay well.